Hello, my sewing friends. Here's my review of Butterick 6411. I'm Jen, and this is my sewing room, and I thought I would tell you about my Christmas dress, which was Butterick 6411. It is a Lizette pattern, and it is so easy. It says easy on the back, and it is. I made it from what I think I have figured out is an ITY knit. It's smooth, it feels a little slippery, not too much, but a little slippery and cool to the touch. That's what this is. I also made a t-shirt out of the fabric that I had left over. And so I think that's what this is. I'm pretty sure. It feels like jersey to me, but I think I need to redefine in my mind what jersey is. I just need a class in how to identify knits. All that said, that's what I made it out of. And I found it on fabric.com. I got it through Amazon and it came in 2 days, which was really nice. It does call for 2 3/4 yards. It calls for moderate stretch knits with a 35% cross grain. So this is a 4-way stretch and it worked great. The drape on it is really, really nice. And the only thing is you have to watch, you have to keep in mind that a knit like this is going to be heavy. Any fabric really is going to be heavier when you make it into a maxi. So you have to account for that with the way it's going to pull down, which was the one problem that I ran into with this dress. This dress had, I say some challenges, but I'll just tell you about it. The bodice on this, I found out from Pattern Review, is cut really high. So you can see on the model that it looks like it's hitting her at about her waist. Well, apparently not. It hits really high. Now, I'm short-waisted, so it didn't hit that high on me, but it still hit too high for my liking. So I added 5.5 inches to the bodice, which was way too much. Although, better too much than too little, right? Well, the way you construct this dress, you do a bodice, just a regular bodice, and then you have a piece that comes this way and a piece that comes this way. So your front bodice is 3 layers of fabric and then just 1 layer for the back, which if you use a heavier knit, you're going to have a whole lot of fabric on the bodice. So I'm glad I used this because this knit was so, I mean, it's so lightweight, so that helped a lot. But it does have a little bit of weight to it as a maxi. Okay, so I put it together and that waistline was just way too low. And so I went back in and cut about 1.5 inches off the waistline. And I cut 1.5 inches off the hemmed part of the drape, which is the bottom edge. And put it on. It was still too long. And I thought, oh. So I took it off and I took off another 1.5 inches from the bodice. I left the drapes alone this time. So I put it back together again and I put it on and it was hitting me too high. I had put the drapes at the edge of where the bodice meets the skirt, but the way that the drape was, it hit me way too high. I took some photos. I mean, I did a whole photo shoot of it thinking, yeah, this is good. And then I looked at the photos and I thought, that thing is hitting me too high. So I went back in again and I didn't take the skirt off. But what I did was I took apart the side seams and I regathered the drapes on either side, so that I sewed them down into the skirt seam, the side seam where, you know, about, I don't know, probably 2 inches below where the waistline was. So that pulled the drape down. So it didn't matter how high the waistline was cut in the front because it pulled the drape down. And that was perfect. So in the end, it took me, what is that, 3 tries to get it right. And so when I say challenges, that's why. It was a fitting challenge. But the thing is, it's such a simple dress because really all you do is you take the front bodice and you attach those two drapes, and all you have to do is hem the bottom of the drape, and then you gather those into the side seams, so the front to the back, so the skirt on and the sleeves, and you're done. I mean, seriously, it's really easy. I did use a twin needle on this. I didn't have any trouble with the seams pulling at all. The double needle is great because it creates a zigzag on the back, and if you're going to sew these seams with a straight stitch, you should use a narrow zigzag anyway, which I did on some of it, I think. But then when I went to hem things, I did the twin needle, and then I had to tear it apart again, so I just left the twin needle in and just did it that way, and it worked great. So if I had to recommend or not recommend this pattern, I would say yes. Yes, it's a great pattern and it's worth doing, with caveats. I think that it would be important to either tissue fit or make a muslin of the bodice and just see where that's going to hit you, and also see where those drapes need to be. Do they need to come further down, like towards your hips, so that the crossover here won't be too high like it was on me, or is it okay? Because maybe it is okay. Like I say, I'm short-waisted and I still didn't like where it was falling. That's it. It was a beautiful dress in the end when I finally got there. And I am surprised because I'm not a fan of working with knits. I mean, it's just not my favorite fabric. I mean, quilting cotton will do whatever you ask of it, and knit won't. One other thing I did was I used my clapper, and I found this tip from Abby at Abby's Den. Great YouTuber. She reviews machines. She's in, I think, Manchester in the UK. And she's just a wonderful wealth of knowledge. And she said, use your clapper on knits and it will set whatever you're pressing. Oh my gosh, what a difference. So try that on your next knit project because it works. Okay, that is Butterick 6411, my Christmas dress. Great pattern. Let me know if you've tried this pattern, if you've got any tips for working with an ITY knit like this one. And that's it for now for me. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.